Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11 Grinds. We are going to take a look at some pitching for today, the 30th of August. It is Wednesday, I think. Yep. Um, we have a 9-game day slate and a 6-game main slate. I would guess. Yeah, they have the day one labeled as the early, so the 6-gamer is the main slate of the day. The only weather issue, from my understanding, is going to be in Boston. Um, Expected to start clearing around first pitch, so maybe a delay, but should be good to go. Uh, Not sure on weather at this point, or wind, I should say, at this point, in places like Wrigley, etc. So we'll find that out as the day goes on. So let's dig in. I guess looking at the game total for the Brewers Cubs, I would assume the wind is blowing in. Just a total of 7 right now with Hendricks on the mound. So I assume that means the wind is blowing in today. Speaking of that game, we got Brandon Woodruff, A minus 115 favorite in this one. Dominated the Cubs is the one time he faced them this year. Uh, Home run issues on the road so far. But aside from that, he's just been phenomenal. That rough start against Texas is kind of to be expected, given how strong of a team Texas is. He bounced back with a dominant performance against San Diego. Very easily going to be my SP1 on the day slate, especially with the wind blowing in at Wrigley. Framber Valdez, man, his performance has been all over the map of late. Um, a decent spot for him against Boston. Obviously, I mentioned the potential rain. He is a minus 140 favorite. Game total is at 10, so there's a ton of volatility. He had 3 start stretch here where it was not good after his no hitter, and then he came out against Detroit last time out and no hit them through 7 innings, uh, but had a bunch of walks. Was not overly sharp. 114 pitches, not getting an additional day of rest, which is a little worrisome. That's by far his most pitches thrown in a game in a month and a half, and the most on the season. So that gives me a little cause for concern here, but a ton of upside. Very strong GPP pitcher for us on this slate. Logan Webb at home during day baseball. Just happens all the time somehow. Uh, Shut down Cincinnati first time he faced them. A couple of rough starts in a row, but when you look at it, that was against Atlanta, and that's kind of what we would expect. I'm all about Logan Webb at home here, a minus 165 favorite against a struggling Cincinnati lineup. Very strong pitching option for us. Bryce Miller against the A's, he has absolutely dominated them in 2 starts. He's been at his best numbers wise when at home. Coming off a so-so start, but he put up elite starts against the Angels and Houston on the road. Very nice to see. There is K upside in him. He's a minus 292 favorite in this game. Bryce Miller, great spot. Same with Logan Webb and obviously Brandon Woodruff. So we have guys right at the top that we want to pay for sure on this slate. Sonny Gray, a minus 165 favorite. Game total of just 7.5. He's thrown the ball pretty well. Perfectly fine option. Not great against Cleveland so far this year, but I'm fine with him for sure at 8,800. Dylan Cease, I'm probably going to go with the fade on Dylan Cease. It was solid against Baltimore the first time, minus the walk issues. Hasn't looked great the last couple of starts. Um, kind of all over the place, much like his earlier season. Um, I just don't think I'm going to go with Dylan Cease on the road here. Baltimore's a minus 178 favorite. Game total of 9. Strong team total. Probably just going to go with the fade on Cease just because I like the other options over him. Bibby or Bibby, I've heard it pronounced both ways now. Um, was okay against the Twins the first time. Hasn't been as strong on the road. Uh, Allowing a few runs of late. Strikeouts haven't been strong, but there's such a K increase in this matchup that I am intrigued. I want to dig a little more into his splits, see what kind of lineup the Twins put out against him. But I'm certainly intrigued because there is upside in this matchup. Hunter Green has been best on the road this year. Uh, has not looked great in his return. Really struggling. Walks, a lot of hits. Uh, Makes me think that they rushed him back a little bit, but it is a great pitcher's park. San Francisco does have strikeouts in the lineup. If there's any pitcher on the slate that I think just breaks the slate, it would be Hunter Green. I'm just not sure I'm willing to go there. I think I'm at this point going to play the wait and see approach on him. I want to see him healthy and performing positively, not just being thrown out there um, to get hit up or with control issues. So Chris Bassett certainly an option. He's pitching phenomenally at home, taking on a weaker Washington team. I know Washington doesn't strike out a ton, uh, so that's an annoying part. Coming off a rougher start, but I still like Bassett, a minus 240 home favorite in this game. Kyle Gibson was not good against the White Sox, hasn't been great at home. Coming off of a pretty strong performance against Toronto, he's certainly capable of putting up an excellent start. And the White Sox aren't a overly dangerous squad. Um, Issue I have is I don't know that I need to go there. It's going to be close. He might be my last man in, or he might be left out of my pitcher pool altogether. We'll see as the morning progresses. Reed Detmers against Philly. As much as I'm a Reed Detmers fan, I'm going to pass um, all over the place, and I just don't feel like we need to go there. Christopher Sanchez is a guy that I am going to consider. I want to see what lineup the Angels put out there. Philly is a minus 170 favorite in this one. The biggest thing is the Angels just put a bunch of guys on waivers. Um, I'm not really sure what that's all about. Considering a couple of those guys played last night after the fact, so I'm not really sure what's going on. But I would like to see what kind of lineup the Angels roll out there against Sanchez. Uh, there's a lot of K upside in that Angels lineup, so I'm intrigued enough. He's a strong enough home favorite that I think he is viable in GPP formats. Kyle Hendricks did shut down the Brewers the first time he faced them. It's been solid the last couple starts. Doesn't have a ton of upside, and that's my worry here. Um, but with the wind blowing in, um, I think it brings Hendricks into play a little bit more. But I'm still going to be looking to fill my pool with other guys. He'd be like a last man in if I felt like I didn't need to force in somebody like maybe Hunter Green, etc., to make my 8-man pitcher pool. Uh, Kyle Hendricks just not overly exciting for me. Um, Rich Hill has not looked great with San Diego, taking on St. Louis. He did put up a strong performance against St. Louis earlier. The game is a pick 'em. Game total 9.5. Means I'm just not really interested in Mikos either. I think we can kind of cut it off there. Crawford against Houston, no thank you. Patrick Corbin, no thank you. So there's kind of the look at the early. We'll take a look at the main here. We have Garrett Cole against the Tigers, a minus 205 favorite. Numbers overall better on the road. Coming off of a big time K performance against Tampa Bay. Kind of a performance I've been waiting to see because he kind of mellowed out with his strikeouts. But seeing the bounce back, really nice. 11.5K is a little tough, but I have no problems with Cole in that matchup. Zach Eflin struggled against the Marlins the first time he faced them, has struggled on the road, but he's coming off of a dominant performance against the Yankees. 20 plus DK points in 4 of his last 5 starts. A minus 120 road favorite here. Game total just 7.5. Have to be all about Eflin in this game. Luzardo has been at his best at home. He's coming off of a great start. Prior to that, he was struggling. So there's a lot of volatility with him here. Low game total, slight underdog, but a lot of upside. So he's definitely has to be in my pool. I just will definitely have exposure to Tampa Bay bats. Pepiot threw 4 innings and 76 pitches last time out. I'm intrigued enough. It's a very talented arm, plenty of upside. Issue is, like, is he going to throw more than 80 pitches? I'm not sure, and that makes it tough. But I'm certainly going to consider him in my pitcher pool. The Dodgers, there's no line yet on that game. Dane Dunning, a couple of rough starts in a row, but has been pretty strong. I'm interested. The Mets don't really scare me at this point, so I think Dunning's certainly viable. Joey Wentz, I have some interest, but not a whole lot against the Yankees. The Yankees have so much power against left-handed pitching, even in their struggles. So they do have some strikeouts to be had as well, though. So maybe Wentz ends up sneaking his way into my pitcher pool tonight. I can already tell I'm not going to end up with an 8-man pool on this main slate, which means I'm going to have to adjust some of my numbers. I'm going to guess I'm going to end up with a 5 or 6-man pool as the day goes on, because I don't have any interest in Brandon Pfaadt against the Dodgers, even though he has been throwing the ball better. Just no interest in taking on the Dodgers. Vines, I'm not sold that he's going to get the start today, but we will wait and see. He's kind of the one listed right now, but it hasn't been officially announced. It would be his major league debut. If I'm Atlanta, I have Spencer Strider throw today on normal rest, even if it isn't in Coors. For tactical advantage reasons, because right now he would be pitching tomorrow against the Dodgers. I don't really want the Dodgers seeing Spencer Strider this close to the postseason. I would rather them not have to see him until it came to that time in the postseason. But that's just myself. If Vines is announced as the starter, I'm going to have to dig into his minor league numbers. He's dealt with a shoulder injury, so that's worrisome. Decent K numbers, but a lot of walks, really. I'll have to dig into his career minor league numbers to get an idea. He's not a guy I'm familiar with at all. No Kyle Freeland. Andre Jackson. It's been decent for Pittsburgh, but I'm just not going to go there. I just don't think he has enough upside for us. Angel Zerpa, no thanks as well. So there we have it. There's my first look at all the pitching for today. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on to get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. And if you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, R-A-Z, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.